That's right. It's taking its time. There we are. We're live according to that. So, welcome. Live from the crossroads of America. A talk show about guns, politics, anything else that we wish to talk about. We'll answer questions from the audience. Either put them in the chat or email me at rickslife@gmail.com or spottedrick@gmail.com. We are, I don't know if we call it broadcasting on gun channels and YouTube. I do have it up on my gun channels page. You can't chat in it though, but you can watch it from there. The audio files from this show and all my past ones, the file on this one will be up within 24 hours. All the rest of them are already up on Podbean, Stitcher, and iTunes. And if you like my show, give me the thumbs up. That all goes towards all the stuff that YouTube needs for, I can grow or whatever they let me do. They won't let you do anything until you get 1,000 subscribers, and I'm so far away from that right now. I don't even think about it, to be quite honest with you. But I don't know if I'll ever get that big, because as I've always said, I'm an acquired taste. So there we go. I also have a Patreon page. It's not under Rick's Life as I see it. It's under my real name. It's patron Rick_Mitchell. That's my Patreon page. I should change it really, but unfortunately I don't use it enough to warrant it. I'm bad on that. I'm just, I don't know. I don't know what you would call it. I'm just an old guy having fun. I don't want to turn this into a business. Because I was watching something today and they were saying, "Oh, look at Clover Tech. He's up to nearly 3,000 people. 3,000 subs, which is great. Good. I remember Clover Tech when he was only a couple of hundred. That's what this guy was saying in the chat. Great. I'm glad he's got it and he's making it. But like everything else, to him, it's like a business to him. He's Clover Tech LLC. So it's a business. See, I'm not into that. I'm just here to talk about Rick's life as I see it. That's all. So I appreciate everybody listening. Anyway, let me introduce my panel that I have so far today. And we'll start with the first one up here is Blind Shooter from New York. How you doing?
I'm doing good, Rick. Thanks for having me.
All right. Then we got the Kingpin himself from Maryland. How you doing?
Hey, Rick. How's it going?
All right, not too bad. Then we got the only one so far from Michigan, Patriot in the Dark. How you doing?
Hello, everyone. Doing great. Thanks, Rick.
Yeah, good. I told we go on the panel right now, but if anybody wants to join, send me an email and I'll send you a link. So, and I don't know if anybody else is going to jump in, but they're sometimes Squib will jump in. But see, a lot of people were at the are watching or gone to the conference or whatever. I don't know if any of those actually watched me that I know of. But anyway, I was watching some of the. I'm going to talk about that. The Gun Rights Policy Conference. What little I saw of it, watching some of it this morning, it's what I thought. It's just people going up there saying what their organization or what they've done this year again for gun rights and what they plan on doing. And maybe I've gone down that negative well too deep to climb back out. But to me, all it seems like is a pep rally. I don't see what purpose it serves besides being a pep rally.
See, you don't see the people talking in the background, though. And they got 1,000 people there, and they're all, even if it was a pep rally, I mean, they're coming up. They're got a lot of things going on besides just the guys talking.
All right. Like I said, I hope it is. I hope it is because I did write a letter to Alan Gottlieb, head of to a foundation, asking him what's the purpose, the point of this conference. What does it achieve in the actual Second Amendment activists? Is that what you would call them? You know, what's the point of it? It sounds like all they're doing is they're, throwing their own trumpets. It sounds like to me. But I could be wrong.
See, they're talking about things they're doing and want to do, and then there's all different people there. All those people that are sitting in watching those things. Each of them have their own groups and own things, and that's how you can't expand anything and say that they want something bigger than that little room when they started off with 200, then 400, and now they're up to 1,000. There's more to it than just
I mean, hopefully,
this is what we're going to do and this is what I like. That they're cross whatever, building those little bridges.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what I was thinking, I believe they set an all-time record of over 1,100 people registered. Maybe that might grab, mainstream media news.
That's not, But see, half of those people there are news because when you look at that legacy media and stuff, they're going to push what they want to push, and they're only a portion. It's not like it used to be where that's you have to go to your 6 channels on TV to figure out what's going on, or your newspaper. That's why there are hundreds of channels and just blogs and all sorts of things, and that's what that is to get more people fluent and get their message out to other people to get it out. So I'm pretty hopeful of it. I wish I was there.
Why didn't you go? It was free. All you had to do was get your own way there.
Yeah, it's a long drive for me.
Could have flown. You could have done what the Yankee Marshal did. Flew in. He signed up for it real early. So he's got a room in the hotel where it's actually being held at. So you don't have to go anywhere.
That is true.
So, but as I said, I'm hoping. I understand what you said. I really did. Has it changed my mind any? I guess I have to wait and see. What comes.
Because I know that you've brought up like the other media and stuff pushing. Why hasn't this been pushed out there or this or that? It's not about that. You just like any of those anti-firearm groups or whatever anti-freedom groups. They have their little meetings, right? That's why it looks from afar that they're all on the same page, all doing the same thing. I'm pretty sure they're not all in one room. They talk and stuff. Well, that's kind of what this is to get everybody kind of lined up and focused on, hey, we all have our own things that we focus on. Just like today, there was a guy that was talking about, all over the world in the UN and, those kind of things. Well, most people that are local and stuff, they don't think about that kind of stuff. The guy that was doing the lead shot and all that stuff. And there's all different people focused on a bunch of different things. It's just like you mentioned before, somebody walk in the room and slam a door, everybody kind of looks. It's to get people kind of looking the same direction and say, hey, next year is 2020. There are a lot of things going on. Don't just sit here and focus on, all those bad things that are getting thrown around. Because there are. I mean, there's people that have been in it for so long, and just like anything, you get wore out, you get tired, and then they say, hey, I go there, and it's like they get recharged because there's so many people that feel the same way or, multiple different ways. It gives you different ideas and stuff. I mean, it's motivating. It's not, I don't see it as anything that would be negative. in trying to pull in other people, those other, media sources, or like you mentioned last week, the police organizations and different things like that, departments and stuff. That's not what it's for. It's for the individual. The Constitution is for the individual, not for the big, huge groups. That's not why we are Americans. We're not for the big, huge groups. It's for every single one of us. And just like that lady with that Bean Frank, Robert Francis, whatever, where she stood up and threw that at him, saying, hey, you're a criminal, you can't buy one, or whatever, that whole conversation.
Yeah.
It's for her right to protect her kids. You're a mom of 4 or 5 or whatever, you have to have, it's all about the freedoms and liberties. And who gives the government or anybody else rights to tell you no? Unless they're your parents, and then you have to listen.
All right.
If you know it's good for you. Unless they're the weak ones that won't hit you. But that's another conversation.
Yes, that's another conversation. All right. Okay. You got any insight into Kingpin? You been watching any of it?
No, I haven't watched any of it this year. I watched a bunch of G-Webs last year, but I think it's pretty good. It's the way I would describe it is they're doing what we're doing here. A bunch of gun guys, a bunch of First Amendment, Second Amendment, constitutionalist, American, decent human beings getting together, talking about what's going on and what we can do to work together and what we got coming down the pipe at us. So you could kind of compare it to what we're doing right here, except on a much larger scale and with much higher connection.
And the guy from Maryland was really good this morning. You should check that one out.
There you go. Midnight Range. I was talking about this with Blind Shooter before we went live. It goes, personally, I think it's hilarious that Yankee has kind of talked shit about, what's his, Mahjong, how you pronounce his name? Mahjong Tirana, whatever his name is.
Right.
He just put a selfie with him on Instagram. Well, he talked about it last night. He went on real late last night from his hotel room, and he said he had to apologize to him. He didn't have to, but he said he talked. He didn't say he apologized. He said he talked to him because he'd been talking shit about him, and it wasn't right. Because he said, I believe that if you've done your time in jail, you should have your rights back. And just because he's a felon, he's a big 2A guy. So he said, I'm just being a hypocrite. He said, I lashed out at him when I was mad at something. So I'll give Yankee credit for doing that. That surprised the shit out of me for him to do that. But, so there we go. Oh, Midnight says, after what you were just saying there, Kingpin, Midnight, I don't know if you're reading it, says they're doing what we are, except they're not broke losers. Yeah, that's how I feel at times.
And they're at lunch now, too. So,
what? They're at lunch?
I think so.
Yeah, they get a free lunch, too.
It kept messing me up because I was watching the GunTube portion, and it was buffering the last part. The first one was great because they had some issues with power and all that stuff there. But so I had to go over to Facebook, and that obviously comes through super clear because it's right underneath the speaker's chin, I guess. But I don't like watching it over there. But it came through really clear. Well, then once that first portion ended, it took me forever to figure out where the next link was and stuff.
Yeah.
Because the only way I found it was because Night Strike. I don't do anything on Facebook very much, so. But it was nice that it was clear. But I don't know if that archives anywhere else or.
I don't know. I don't know either. I thought the actual guns policy conference page would have had a link on it. because I thought they were broadcasting it. Direct, we're streaming it live. The actual conference itself.
Yeah,
So,
it's on the Second Amendment Foundation page. At least that's where I found the link to the video.
did
And
you?
GoodTube has the link and shared the
looked-
link to the first one, but it's just to that first video. And so to get to, I'm sure it's easily visually, to click the little logo or whatever and go right straight to their page. But I was on my phone and it skips over a whole bunch of stuff. So
Yeah.
I'm not too fluent. You have to ask Blind Shooter. He's the resident guru on Facebook.
Oh, okay. I hardly ever use it. I tell you what, when I moved here, I deleted 99% of the people off of it.
Yeah.
I mean, not one of them has sent me a request to friend them.
Yeah.
Not one of them. So, you know what I say to that? Fuck them.
Yeah, I mean, most people on my page are, from high school, and you get, some people from works and different places like that. But, I don't talk to, waitresses that I used to, I don't talk to any of them people.
Oh, yeah. So, I mean, really, I say fuck them. It doesn't bother me whether they talk to me or not. You know what I'm saying?
That's why you throw all
that. Most people I know on Facebook now are people off of gun channels. That's what most of my friends are on there.
I just
and
like it every time.
And be honest with you, half of them I don't even know, because when they send me a request, I click on it. It says mutual friends. I click on that to see who the mutual friends are, and if I can see a name I know in the mutual friends, then I'll accept it. So that's how I do it.
And I just post a lot of Second Amendment stuff so that I just see my friend numbers just gradually sink.
Yeah, and I do have a
excuse.
second page. I have a second page, a Rick's Life page that's connected to my main page. So all my videos go up on Rick's Life, I believe. Well, they used to. I haven't checked it for a while. So, unknown user wants to know: does anybody know if Never Enough Ammo's family emergency came out okay or not? Well, I haven't heard. All I heard was that he had to turn around and go back home. That's all I know.
He hasn't posted anything on YouTube yet either.
No. So, if somebody in the chat knows, can't help you, I'm afraid. So, that's where we're at. I mean, I don't know. I'm feeling more optimistic. Is that the word I'm looking for? Than I have been. Because I was thinking about this, getting discussion. All these gun laws they're trying to pass. I mean, the dangerous part is getting it is if the states keep bringing in all these gun laws. Federally, if you think about it, right? They can't. I mean, they wouldn't get. What do they need? Is it 3/4 of the states to do a constitutional amendment to vote yes for it? And they know they can't get it. So the Second Amendment is not going away. Federally, it's not going to go away. What's going to hurt it is the states keep picking at it, little bits, to where, all the blue states, like California, New York, Connecticut, Rhode Island, all them kind of, are strangling it, are strangling the second. There's only going to be, states that are pro-gun left. So, is everybody going to move to those?
Did you hear about the Supreme Court hearing the case?
No. Phyllis, any come on? I'm listening.
Oh, I thought Blind Shooter would jump in.
Which case you talking about? The New York one, Jersey one?
Yeah, the New York one. They said that they're gonna. They actually have it on the list or something.
Yeah, the tentative date for that one is December 1st or 2nd, I believe.
Oh, they're actually going to hear what's the word for it? Arguments from both sides.
Yeah, they've already got the docket number and everything scheduled.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's good. That is good news.
Yeah, like I made a video about it a while back. Apparently, the Supreme Court is going to rule on that case first, and depending on the outcome of the New York case, will dictate whether or not they're going to hear the other. I believe it's 4 or 5 cases that they have up for.
Yeah, for them to say yes or no to.
Right, and if it, like either way, I think it's a win-win for the Second Amendment community if the New York case gets ruled in our favor, because then either the Supreme Court's going to hear the remaining 4 or 5 cases, or they're going to send it back down to the lower circuit courts and say, this is the new law, you need to get on your game and fix what needs to be fixed, otherwise we'll just do it for you. And Trump's already, I believe Trump already turned 1 or 2 of the circuits. I think we've got the 3rd circuit taken care of in the 9th. I could be wrong.
Yeah. He's put some pro-constitutional judges on the 9th Circuit, which is normally the crazy one. That's the one that covers California and shit. You know? But we'll see. That's good news. I hope it does. As I've been saying this for months, I think that's the only way this would you call it, a fight? Or is the courts are going to have to settle it?
The courts are going to have to settle it, and I don't know if anyone else has heard about it, but I think the Democrats are trying to railroad the Supreme Court now because apparently there's a new Brett Kavanaugh conspiracy going out that he did something else with some other girl that nobody knew about.
Yeah.
It's not
going nowhere.
Debunked. The supposed victim doesn't remember it and has no clue about it, they said.
Yeah.
And it was a part of that thing. It was just the New York Times or whatever put it in there and it left.
Yeah, plus the guy who said that he did it turns out that he's a Democratic activist. You know, it all fell apart around him. You know.
I mean, I wouldn't be the least bit surprised too that give about maybe like a month or a couple weeks before the Supreme Court's due to hear the New York case, there's some other either big like outcoming of somebody did something in the Supreme Court, or we have another mass shooting that takes like 50, 60 lives.
I hope to God not, but yes, that's normally what happens. Unfortunately, it seems like it's a conspiracy that it seems to happen all that way, but surely they wouldn't go that far, to get something. Surely. But
I mean, they killed Epstein, so.
I'm trying to think, was it last year or the year before? National reciprocity was the big thing, and it was looking good. Then all of a sudden something happened, and damn, they got thrown down into the hellhole bucket and never taken out again. Yeah,
Was that right around when that guy, Steve Scalise, got shot?
National reciprocity wasn't going to pass. Whether anybody got shot or not, they didn't have the votes. They needed 60 votes in the Senate, and they didn't have 60 Democrats.
Well, I thought they never put it up for a vote because Mitch McConnell sat on it.
That's the other thing. That's the other thing. Is these people who were all, not pro-Trump, but, were giving Trump, they weren't bad-mouthing him, right? But since all this other shit's coming up, and he says stuff, sometimes he lets his ass overload his mouth without thinking. Right? He says this stuff before he's thought about it. Then now they're bad-mouthing him, and they go, well, look, he had the House, he had the Senate, and he had the White House, and didn't get nothing done. But as you just said, yes, they had a simple majority in the House, but they still didn't have enough votes to get things passed. They still needed Democrats because they have 51. They still needed another to turn another 9 Democrats to get anything done, and they couldn't do it because the party line was whatever comes up, we are voting no. Simple as that. See? But they forget to tell you that. I mean, it's like anything else when it comes to an argument like this. You use the facts to your situation to make it work. You know, so these pro gun channels bad mouthing him are forgetting about that part that you needed 60 votes to make anything pass. They are conveniently forgetting that. You know, but hey, that's only me.
Then you got to turn around and look at how many so-called Republicans are jumping on that same thing. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
If we would have went for national reciprocity, we'd have had an Obamacare and then some, because Patriot's absolutely right. Every single Democrat would have voted no. And then I'll just make up a number. You said there was 51. 48 Republicans would have voted yes, and 2 of them would have voted no. And that would have been a punch in the nose, worse than just a party line vote. Losing 2 of our quote-unquote side with a down vote, just like McCain with his thumbs down.
Oh yeah.
Made the Republican, and the Republicans weren't gonna face that because they knew they weren't gonna get a Democrat vote, and they knew there was at least 1 or 2 Republicans that weren't gonna vote for it.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. You're right. I was dreaming.
And the reason they don't want that to show up is that's going to obviously throw some sand in their little gears there, because people actually realize, whoa, just because they have a little R doesn't mean jack nothing. Which you should know that anyways, but
yeah.
Okay, that's why you got to look at the people.
Patrick's joined us in the chat, and he's gone back to the gun rights policy conference, right? He said it's not congressmen and senators or law enforcement. Things like not having them there to talk and listen to us is stupid. They make and enforce the laws.
No.
The only time you'll see a politician there is when they need the votes. And like I've always said, they're going to tell you what you want to hear. And then once they actually get your vote and get elected, they're going to turn right around and say, well, I don't care about you.
And see, the whole problem is, people say, well, it's free. If they wanted to be there, they could be. But it's not for them. It wasn't designed for congressmen or anybody else to sit there and listen. It's to get us organized, because when we have a swell, they will listen. They don't care, because there's nothing going to change because of that. They're not scared right now.
Yeah.
But when people see that 1,000 people show up, and then each of those 1,000 people go back and they spur up their couple friends and their this and their that, and it ends up multiplying, and there's actually some good things that come out of it. People are being getting some experience as far as other ideas that maybe me living up here in Michigan, I have not a clue about border security. I mean, Canadians are not swimming across the lake to come to my house, so I do pay attention to it, but it's not something that's something that I look at every day. And so, when you get people from across the country and that thing moves around, next year it's in Florida, you get cross sections of all different people, just like that top shooter, I didn't know he was a gay guy. Not that it makes a difference, but that's some information that I didn't know. That came out today, and I was like, oh, it's probably been out or whatever, but I just paid attention to it. And so there's a lot of little things, that the ladies that were talking. There were some that were, the guy from Maryland, he was pretty good. It brings out a lot of different ideas, and then that might just inspire 1 or 2 people, even if there's just a small handful of people that go to that conference and actually do something besides getting stickers or, coloring books for their kids or whatever, and thinking that it's a vacation kind of thing. If a handful of them get inspired to do something and actually step up and, start some kind of local thing in their community, just like the one lady was talking about, free training for families. If you want to come by yourself, you got to pay something, but you get a family with young kids and actually teach them about gun owners' rights, not gun rights, because obviously guns don't get rights. Actually teach them the stuff that is missing in their schools. That's all that kind of ideas and things flowing around. I mean, how many people listening actually thought about that? They're obviously bringing stuff up to kids and training kids, next generation and all that kind of stuff is very important. But to actually think, of a couple ideas on actually how to do it, if you're a trainer, and you throw a couple things out there where you got, one day a month or one day every other month, that all you do is, families, and that's family day, and that's it, and I mean, that will change hearts and minds, I guess. I don't know. Because you got to look at that they're the ones that are taking over. We're not that big voting base that we used to be. Every year it gets smaller and smaller, whatever. And it's changing hands. We're pushing that the time.
Generation is taking over from us.
Yeah. And the kid that was talking about the 2A gaming, the Second Amendment, how much that plays into effect with all the people that game. There's everybody games, in college and all that kind of stuff, and kids, adults, and if you can actually skim off and actually push it towards, doing something with the gaming, that say, hey, look, this is a capitalist thing. You go into a game to make money, buy firearms, buy buildings, do stuff. That's capitalist. You don't have a socialist game. Who goes in there, works hard, and gives it to everybody else? I don't think there is a game like that. Even Oregon Trail wasn't like that, right? That was an old DOS game way back. But anyway, so yeah, there's all different ideas, and if somebody doesn't bring it up, and just like us talking, it brings it up. Maybe somebody will be inspired to do something.
I need to look into these video games, because I the last game I ever played like that, I think it was an Atari system. It was where the thing went back and forth across the screen.
Pong.
Yeah. That's the last time.
Or Combat did that too, but
that was it. And if you set the paddle just right, you can make it bounce around, all four sides of the screen for hours, just doing it. It was that's the last time I played with a computer game. And how many years ago was that? So I must be missing out on something here. But there was something I mentioned this before, and it annoys me when big channels come out with this. I hear people who are, in politics and close to it, when they're asked about our emails and our phone calls that we do, right? They do. I'm saying they're not going to read. They more likely won't ever see your email in front of them. But as I said, if 300,000 emails on the same subject are turning up at somebody's office on their computer, right? Who's ever taking care of it is writing down 300,000 for, do not ban bump stocks. Then I'm not saying this, I'm using an example. So when they have their weekly meeting, he goes, yeah, for 4 days in a row, we had over 300,000 a day writing in about this. They do hear it, and it does make a difference. But we have certain channels coming out with, none of that makes a difference. Well, you've got to go up there and show them. You got to be there in person. Then they hold a rally on a Saturday when everybody's fucking home. It doesn't make sense to me.
Speaking of rallies.
Yes.
I thought Kingpin was going to jump in. 24th and 25th in Harrisburg. The 24th is the morning. I don't know the times. Look out there. I'm sure somebody knows the times. But the 24th is important because that's the day that the antis are bussing people in. So get there early so you can fill up seats.
Oh yeah, because they will.
Because you don't want, rather have a bunch of us in there instead of,
a bunch of them.
Yeah. So,
and the only way you're going to beat them there is I think they have an inside track. Somebody lets them in the back door or something. It's camp there overnight. Be the first ones there. And I bet you they still beat you there somehow. Hey, Sean Pottery's in the house. I see him out there in the chat. Unknown user. What do you say now that they have virtual reality, full interactive sex games? Hey, I better look into it. Oh God, yeah.
Well, we know what he's doing in his spare time.
Yeah, that's a far cry from Leisure Suit Larry, right?
Yeah. No. You're very quiet today, Kingpin.
As soon as they take the guns away, they're going to take those pesky video games away too.
Yep.
I know you says take lots of Slim Jims to the Harrisburg rally because Midnight Range will be there. Yeah.
Because when they take the games, they're going to replace them with socialist games about, feeding the dolphins and petting the seals or something.
Yeah.
Well,
save a seal.
Unknown user was right. They'll keep the sexually graphic games and allow the children to buy those type of games. But any type of game with any type of violence in it, kiss it goodbye.
Yeah. They're more likely to start making a game. Oh, they're more likely to start making a Monopoly game soon where you have to give everybody 200 when you pass go. So. All right, we just lost Blind Shooter. Hope he makes it back. There was something I was going to talk about. Oh yes, the quiz. From last week. I hadn't even boxed it up yet. I've been lazy. A bunch of stickers and a pin, I think, yeah. And I got one and a Every Second Matters patch. That is the prize for last week. And the question was, I think I had 4 entries, so it's pretty good odds. The question was in the TV show Justified, season 3, episode 12. I asked what weapon did the character Arlo Gibbons, I think you pronounce it, played by Raymond J. Barry. He pulls a revolver on Ava. It appears to be this. I'm reading what I copied. It appears to be a 4-inch variant of the blank fire only Kimber competitive revolver. I've never seen one. I don't even know what it is. I saw a picture of it when I was looking at this, but I've never even heard of it, so I don't know. It's not Kimber competitive, but Kimar, Kimar competitive revolver. So that was the answer to the question. And the winner is, let me go back to my thing here. No, that's the wrong one. Where in the hell is it? I've lost it. I've lost my page. Oh, damn. Oh, here it is. Here's my page. 2 Live Moo is the winner. There
Congratulations.
Let me write that down. He hasn't entered in a long time. So he's the winner for that competition last week. All right, your camera's on, Blind Shooter.
I'm trying to turn it
It
off.
don't bother me that you're having it on, but just want to let you know. And I do apologize to anybody out there if my thing is all fuzzy and terrible. That's because of the internet service I have out here in the boondocks. You know, it looks good to me because I'm sitting right here in front of the camera, but my upload speed, the last time I checked, hang on, we'll do it right now. Let me have a look. Let me bring it up. Well, I'm not going to share it, but I'll internet speed. All right.
Is the camera off?
Run speed test. Here we go. Testing download. Oh man, go on, get up there. My download is 5.66 Mbps. My upload. Now this is where my picture is going up, my camera and my whatever is going up the internet out to you guys. You ready for it? Is a whopping 0.79, and that's high today. So there you go. Just wanted you people to know. That's what I have to deal with. You know, so I don't know where everybody is today. We got a small crowd out there in the chat, but that's okay. All right. Now where is it? Wrong one. This is the one I want right here for this week's quiz. And I got a hell of a prize. Well, it's not hell of a prize. It was sent to me by a subscriber. He goes under his actual his name is under Tony York. That's what his actual YouTube name is, and it's a hook and brush set.
Nice.
A 4-piece stainless steel hooks, one nylon utility brush, one brass utility brush, one lens scope brush. Now, it's still in the package. It hasn't even been opened, so I haven't even looked at it. You know,
Nice.
it's nothing great, but it's maybe you can give it to give it to somebody as a present, and give it to your kids, or use it yourself, or whatever. But that's the prize for this week.
Nice.
Yeah, I thought so.
I'll be sending you out some stuff too there, Rick.
Oh, I appreciate it. So the question here. Now this one, this one we're going to have the rifle. You know, the rifle experts on this one. They might get it. Somebody like Patrick or Sean or somebody like that, or Two Live Moo might get it. You know, but old boys like me wouldn't get it, I don't think. Unless they cheat and look it up like I did to get the question. All right. It's to do with the TV show SWAT.
Ooh, good show.
Right? The very first one, the pilot episode. Right? All I'm going to give you is several members of the team are armed with this rifle. Okay?
Daisy.
The majority of them, this is an email question, by the way. Right? What I want to know, but what the actual main question is, the character Chris, she's the female in the team, right?
She's not bad looking either. Just putting it out there.
The HK, I told you what brand it is, so I slipped up. Right? The HK in the pilot episode, there was something different about hers to everybody else's. I want to know what it was. I want to know the make of the rifle and what was different about hers. There you go. You got it? Email me at rickslife@gmail.com or spottedrick@gmail.com. See, I gave you half the question by telling you the brand name. You know, but I want to know what model they were carrying and what was special about hers. So there we go. That's from the pilot episode. So, email me at rickslifeasiseeit@gmail.com or spottedrick@gmail.com by next Saturday, noontime Eastern. The only time that matters. Now, next week, next Saturday, I plan on being here, and I hope it's at 3 o'clock, but I can't guarantee it. I'm going to the town, which is about 5-6 miles away from here, called Eckerty, Indiana, is where my father was born. They got this parade, little village or town thing, with booths set up and all this. That was called the old Eckerty days. I'm going to that. I've never been to it in my life, and since I live here now, and I might run into some. My cousin wants to take me. She says might meet some of the old people that remember your dad. Still, some of them are still alive. They're still in their 80s, but they're still alive. Or plus, I could meet relatives I don't know yet. So there we go.
And you get to show off your 380.
Oh yeah, I've got my holster. I've been wearing it. I went out this morning with it on my hip. And can still, under my shirt, you can't even see it.
Yeah.
Like the 45, the grip sometimes would print. That big old 45. But this 380 is my Michelin's hide it really well.
You like that holster pretty good?
Yeah, the 1791 holster I got for it. Yeah, it's taking some. It's stiff. It's taking some breaking in, but it's it took me. I used that. I wrapped my gun in some film wrap, plastic.
Yeah.
And stuffed it in, left it in overnight, and it works a lot better now.
Yeah, I did mine probably 3 or 4 times to get it to where it was. Didn't seem like it was, stripping metal off while pulling it out. It was pretty tight.
I've ordered the my dies for the 380.
Okay, good.
So they should be in next week. What else? The one thing I haven't done, I know what's going to get mad at me, Sean, in the chat, is I still haven't made my mind up. Hey, Squib, why don't you join in? I sent you an email. Squib? See, Squib messes everything up, even in the chat. Oh yes, I still haven't decided. Right now, I'm carrying it, but I'm carrying it with just plain old ball ammo in it. Right? I still haven't decided on the defensive ammo. Should I buy it, or should I, since I'm getting the die, should I make my own defensive ammo for it? That is the question.
That's a good question.
What do you guys think? Kingpin, what do you think?
If you're going to make your own defensive ammo, I'd practice pretty good with it. Make sure you got the recipe that you're really happy with. Like I wouldn't just throw what the Lyman book says and stuff that is your defense ammo. I'd make sure that I'd find the load that I really wanted.
Yeah. Okay. Good point. What about you, Blind Shooter? What do you think?
I would say do both, but to second what Kingpin said, like if you're going to make your own, take it out to the range and test it a few times to make sure you've got it down packed to where you want it.
Yeah. Good point. Also, I could ask a couple of the big reloaders on gun channels that I know. Ask them for a recipe. The data or date, I want to call it on it. They might know. Like Squib Load is a big reloader. Dead Horse is another one. Then you got what's his name and the Bunnymen down there, David down in Florida.
Yeah, I would definitely test it out. But until then,
Oh, yeah.
I would buy a box just to have it. It might, it's fun to shoot those anyway. So
Coffee and Guns and Ammo Astronomy. Are you on Instagram? Yes, I am. I don't use it much, but I am on there. And I think it's under, I don't even know what it's under. I think it's under my real name. I think it's under, my real name, which would be Rick_Mitchell, I believe, on Instagram. I'm not sure. Oh,
yes.
no.
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
I think so.
Or if it's not that, it's Ram 11397. It could be under that. That's either Twitter or Instagram. I can't remember which is which, so I have to look it up in case people ask me again. But yes, I do have that. I do check it occasionally, but I don't. I switched off the notifications because it would go off in all kinds of day and night, and so I just switched off notifications. And I have a bad habit of not checking. Yeah. So there we go. I mean, so unknown user says if I was going to rely on 380, I'll make sure it was hot. Squiblo says I like reloading my own defensive loads, but I buy factory also.
Yeah.
Oh man, goddamn! How liberal can you get, Squib? Jesus. Yeah, everybody's curious why I would do an Instagram or Twitter as Ram11397, right? That used to be my on my motorcycle. That was my registration. In Rhode Island. It's my initials, of course, right? And 11/3/97 is my sobriety date. November the 3rd, 1997. So that's where that came from, if anybody was wondering. So
yeah, I think it is under Rick Mitchell. One of my last posts, I think, the one that I did for your the shooting with disabilities, I think. Okay. I think I tagged you on it. I should have.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, I know it's one or the other. Anyway, okay. I'm just reading the thing. Yeah, so I've got to decide. This is definitely going to be my carry gun, and it does. This thing, I'm using 95. Right now, I bought a couple of boxes of Winchester, the white box, 95 grain, 380 ball ammo to test it with, and shooting that. This thing is so sweet. It does. I'm not getting any. When I hold it, my wrists ain't hurting or anything when I fire that thing, and the slide goes real easy. Oh man, I love it. From being a 45 ACP or nothing, going down to a 380. Maybe people are going to start thinking I had my nuts cut off or some shit. But my hands can't take it anymore.
Yeah. What good is carrying something if you can't use it?
Exactly.
I
know this unknown user said I sent my answer to the quiz. This unknown user, I sent my answer in to the quiz. Will my prize be here by Tuesday?
Just tell people that you're a real bad to the bones, hardcore type of dude, and you wanted to give the bad guy a chance. That's why you don't carry 45 anymore.
Huh. That's good.
Yeah. Well, I've got one entry so far, as he said, unknown user and unknown user. Oh, he's covering his head. He's covering his bets. He's mailed it to both email addresses. That's only one entry, though. By the way, but he's got his answer is correct. So nobody else. If nobody else answers, I'll send you the prize without even doing the drawing.
See, now I'm going to enter just to annoy him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I know you says the guy getting shot won't be wondering about the size of your nuts. You're right. I mean, that's it. I mean, people say that, you know. I
He
mean,
might.
you know, like when people say, you know, using a 22. Well, I mean, they were saying you stand in front of me, and let me shoot you with a 22. You know, so I mean, 22 might not kill them, but it definitely get their attention. You know, but
Or 22 is just going to piss him off.
yeah, but no, as I was saying this, I was thinking about this. If say something happens and I had to pull it, I don't think it would be just one or two shots. I think my adrenaline would be pumping so much, almost like I empty the whole magazine into him. You know, so we'll see. So
I got a little story about those bad guys, and even if they're hopped up and they're all sideways coming at you, a friend of mine does security at a hospital, you know, and they get a lot of, it's inner city kind of stuff. So they get walk-ins that are you know, talking to aliens, you know, whatever. Anyways, there was a couple that went in there, and basically they had to you know, they had like 4 or 5 guys because they can't start anything, but if somebody swings or hits somebody, then they can, you know, I guess subdue you or whatever. And there was a couple guys that basically there was only one way they could you know, stop them, and that was by grabbing them by the lower appendages. You know, I was like,
yeah.
so I don't know. Might be 22 might be better.
Yeah. Well, Coffee and Guns and Ammo says a High Point 380 was my first gun I purchased, and it was a gateway gun. Now I'm here watching gun vids because I can't get enough. Yeah, I know what you mean. Hey, I've picked them up, and I've never owned one. I've never shot one, but I picked up High Points in the gun shop. You know, they're big and clunky, but from all I've heard, they work. So, I mean, if that's all you can afford, by all means, I wouldn't put anybody down. I mean, jokingly, you might hearing the chat and stuff, but no, in real life, if that's all you can afford, I mean, I wouldn't look down on anybody if that's all it was a High Point.
And I really think the people that do joke, it's because the other people already, you know, they already have several firearms. It's not, you know, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I don't think if it was somebody that was new and hadn't got anything, you know, you'd have to be a jerk to you know, try to detour somebody from whatever. So.
Oh yeah, I'm going to try to get out this week to the range with my new targets, and I got to shoot this gangster style for unknown user. Otherwise, he's going to unsub. Well, that means if I don't do it this week,
then you'll have to send him a present.
and he won't win the prize. You know.
You got that worked out.
Yeah. So, all right. You having internet problems there, Blind Shooter?
I'm always having internet problems. It's New Yorkistan. They're trying to silence me.
Yeah. So, all right. Anything else, guys? You want to talk about? Anything? No. Anything? Nothing happening in Michigan.
Not that I know of. I mean, we had that rally, and it was one of the funnest things ever. I really enjoyed it. And it was my first rally being a blind guy at a rally. Well, yeah, I'll say that. I've been to other things, but wasn't firearms and stuff, rights. and so that was really good. And so I think I'll be a rally guy now. But yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Okay, Dusty One says a 22 is the last gun I want to be shot by. Will not pass through long, slow, painful death.
Yeah.
There you go. All right. So anything happening there besides the court case in New York there, Blind Shooter?
Not really. They're still trying to pass the whole no more than 20 rounds in a 4-month thing, but that's probably not going to go anywhere.
No more than 20 rounds in 4 months?
Yeah, you can't. They want to make it that way. You can't buy more than 20 rounds in a 4-month time frame.
What are they? I mean, Jesus Christ. You know?
Like, I mean, I know, like, some rifle ammo comes in 10-round boxes, and the snap caps come in, like, 2 and 3 in a pack, but, I mean, you guys know more about ammo than I do. Don't they typically come in 50-round boxes at the minimum?
Yeah.
Unless it's the self-defense.
Defensive ammo comes in normally 20 round boxes. Defensive ammo comes in smaller boxes, but normally regular ball ammo for just shooting down the range. It's
the shotgun you can get 5 or whatever 20.
Yeah.
Is it in a big box?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. But then if you're buying 22 ammo, you can buy them in bricks of 500.
Yeah.
So there we go.
I still think that would. I mean, I would be talking with the ranges and stuff if that ever passed. Because just like the places that rent firearms and stuff. I mean, there would be a way, but that would be horrible to pass. So
that would be.
If you need any help, I'll come out there and talk with you.
All right. Anything happening in Maryland there, Kingpin?
Not necessarily Maryland, but November 4th, there's going to be a rally in D.C., and apparently it is official. I know a couple people were concerned that it might be fake news or something, but last night, Rob Pinkett did come on Budget Guns and Gear Review show and promoted it. So November 2nd, be on the lookout. D.C. rally down in the Capitol. If you've got a chance to make it, that'd be great. If not, tell people about it. And Bloke still got his giveaway going, so go check that out.
Okay, that sounds good. All right. I tell you what, people have been saying that's what we need to do is have a rally at the Capitol. Somebody's doing it now. Now it's crunch time. Put your money where your mouth is. Everybody's screaming about it. Let's get your ass up there and do it.
And there, just to throw that out there is free tours of Baltimore and DC slums. I did hear something about that. There are free tours.
Yes.
Any questions?
And you go in on.
There's free tours of DC, which are daylight time tours, because you still want to see some of the cool stuff around the Capitol. The Baltimore tours, there's going to be 2 running each day. One's going to be at noon and one's going to be at midnight. So lunch and dinner will be provided by the tour guide, who's me. So anybody who wants to go through Baltimore, and it's they're 1 round trip tickets. So I figure if you get 1 ticket and you survive, you can get the ticket home for free.
There you go.
Can we pay with jars of mayonnaise?
You'll be left there.
You have to spoil it, don't you, Blind Shooter? Bring up the mayonnaise.
I do have a little giveaway too that was going on. If my last video was about the mail call from CloverTac.
Yes.
I did the things because he was making a telethon like a week or so ago about getting to the GRPC, and I ended up I won a range bag and stuff. Anyways, the thing I called out is to go over to Clover's channel and check out the Next Generation and pick out your favorite Next Generation. So whatever youth it is and whatever they use, if you put that in the comment of my video, and make sure you put a comment on the Utes on their video, then I'm going to give away a full set of the hashtag FUDLife stickers. Not my daughter's; those are hers, and she's already claimed them, and they're put up separate from mine. But and I might sweeten it a little bit and put something else in there, depending on who, if there's anybody that replies to it or does it. So you just have to find a video and put it up. So because that's
how long is that going for?
I don't know, until next Wednesday. Depends on how many, if anybody does it. I mean, I've got a couple already that first day. It's just important to get those and share those videos, of youth actually doing something that is productive. They're not sitting there thinking they're entitled. They're not, whatever. I'm sure, kids do whatever they want, but, it's something positive, and they are the upcoming voters and the people that are going to pick up that baton
they're picking up the mantle of the 2A.
Yeah, well, it's otherwise they're not going to have freedoms. So we have to have somebody. We can't do it all. I mean, we're all supposed to do our part, but that's part of it is getting the youth. And there are some youth out there that are doing some amazing things. So just make sure you check those guys out and share it too, because there's a lot of people out there that think all kids are lazy. I mean, there's a lot of grumpy guys that are like, kids. All they do is play those newfangled video games and listen to their Walkmans or whatever.
Yeah.
So if you share it,
there's actually kids out there who are actually hell of a lot better shooter than I am.
Yeah, and plus they're out there and they're obviously being seen by swaths of people that go to those competitions and stuff. But there's competitions. They travel. They do all sorts of different things, and it might inspire somebody to take a niece or a nephew and say, hey, I want to try this.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Unknown user says he's already got a set of the stickers, so he ain't going to enter because he wants to give somebody else a chance to win.
Well, you can still enter.
You can still enter. Hey, you can still
share and put
share those next generation videos.
Share them and then put a comment over there so that there's some activity on there. Because there's some old ones from last year and stuff. I mean, some of them kids are. I mean, he's got international kids on there too. From South Africa and all over the place. So check them out because it is important. Because more that those things are seen and shared, it's obviously gonna at least help out the people we know share too.
All right.
Thanks.
There you go. All right. So everybody's got their plugs in. I know I've done it different this time. So I'm going to wrap it up. Unknown user says he will do that for you. So
thank you.
Yeah. So
what's for lunch?
What's for lunch? I haven't. I think I'm leaning towards pizza again. Now, which is strange for the last, I don't know, 18 years. I would eat pizza maybe 2 or 3 times a year because pizza has never ever been the same since I stopped drinking. Pizza and beer just go together. You know what I'm saying? And eating pizza without a beer just didn't sit right with me. But the last couple of years, I'm starting to enjoy pizza now. So I think I'm going to have me a pizza. I got another one of those. I bought one. Was it last week or the week before? One of those. It's not delivery. It's
DiGiorno.
We call it, and it was quite good. So I got me another one of those. Pepperoni. I like pepperoni.
You got to get the Red Barons.
Yeah, they good.
Does that come with the girlfriend that's blindfolded?
I hope so.
Like in the commercial? Not just.
So.
Asking for a friend.
Oh, okay. So that's what I'm having. I'm having a pizza.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. So. No comment from midnight. He must have left. He ain't said a word. Yeah. Just had a poor man's burritos made with Hormel chili and mozzarella cheese. There you go. Hey,
Hey.
just a bit of useful trivia for you. Mozzarella is America's #1 selling cheese. It even outdoes American cheese. Mozzarella is the #1 selling cheese in the whole of the United States. For the simple reason, for the amount of pizzas people make. That's what a lot of them put on it. So I just thought you might want to know that info. Being an ex-meathead, I learned stuff like that, you know.
And I think that
Here's another one for you. A pig's foot. Has 42 bones in it. There you go. Just thought you might want to know that too. Did anybody ever remember that old game? Was it Trivial Pursuit? You know,
Yeah.
see, these are good questions for that. If you ever play it, you got the answers. You know, my mind is full of useless information. You know, anything useful just doesn't stay in there. So, all right, guys, that's it. I want to say thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. And for the few in the chat, I appreciate you being here too. I mean, the weather, I don't know about where everybody else is, but it's still hot here. Still up in the high 80s here. And we're meant to be getting a dip Monday down to 78 is going to be the high. But then it goes right back up into the high 80s again. You know, it looks like we're going to have a warm September and October. Patrick says, useful trivia. A hot dog is not a sandwich.
Here we go with that again.
Yeah. So, all right. I want to say thank you all for being here. I really do appreciate it. And I will be back on Wednesday at 7 p.m. with Shooting with Disabilities. And I should be back next Saturday. It might be a bit late. I'm not sure what time I'm going and what time I'm getting back. So, I don't know. I will keep you all informed. Unknown user says 93 degrees here in East Tennessee. Yeah, it's summer definitely ain't over in this part of the Midwest, I tell you. So it's only 87 in California. Somebody says here. So, all right. I will talk to you all later. Let me see the thing I gotta hit. All right. So everybody say I will see you all on Wednesday.
never fear the dark.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Got a pin first.
Squib is funny looking.